Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom with Spirit. I'm Gina Biro. I'm a medium and a channeler, and every Wednesday I tune into Spirit without cards and just go straight into mediumship style, sometimes channeling, and see who's here. So I'm going to do just that. So I'm going to tune in here just one moment and see see who's here. Let's see. This is really interesting. Okay, so this is coming from one of my spirit guides. Her name is Piper. Um, she is, how would I explain her? She's kind of half fairy, half angel kind of thing. Is the best way I could explain her, but there's more to her. Anyways, she's coming through and she's showing me how um, there's a big influx of our ancestry available right now. So a lot of our ancestors, both biological and soul-based, are coming forward. I'm seeing different generations coming forward in support to this critical time right now. There's this critical time on our planet for the individual right now, and specifically this week. It's part of this like clarity now, this higher realm access now is a critical juncture point where a big piece of the message is that your rebirth is assured. And they're saying this is something we all need to hear. We all need to hear this. And again, the rebirth that is assured is on the individual level. Now, because, as they're saying this, I'm asking them questions. I'm like, well, how does that work for every single person that's listening to this? Like, what if their rebirth is to be cured from maybe a rare disease that doesn't have a cure? And they're saying this is why we're speaking to the individual. It's each individual journey of what a rebirth could be for that journey. So the rebirth can be something very different for each person. So for some people, it could be this total 180-degree turn in their life. Maybe they change jobs, change houses, and change provinces or states, right? Maybe for somebody else, they finally get a leg up on their healing journey. Maybe for somebody else, this rebirth is this releasing big karmic journeys and karmic baggage that although maybe it doesn't change the trajectory, it changes completely the perspective of their trajectory. So it's same line and direction that they're going, but they're revolutionized in how they look at it, right? So it's very individualized. So it's like think about in your life what have you been waiting for this rebirth, or what rebirth have you been working on already? Because they're saying many are starting to, they're showing it to me like a braid. Many are starting to actually braid and they're kind of like halfway down already and seeing the solidness of this braid and it will be completed. And again, they're saying this is where it goes to the individual because each person's journey has different points where there is a rebirth, different destiny points, juncture points where they get these either aha moments or this clarity or whatnot. This week is a big week for that, a significant juncture point of a feeling of rebirth. And they're saying part of why this is happening too is because we have, like I said, made it through the eclipse season, made it through the beginning of this year. All planets are direct now, I believe until May 4th. So there's this beautiful momentum that can, okay, they're saying the momentum can be braided with the clarity, with the alignments. That's why they're showing me the braid. Um, so that's the first part of the message. Really something to consider. The more you keep your energy in this kind of, again, I don't want to say like, I don't want it to sound like a false positivity. It's not that. I think we need to be very real with our emotions. But there's these pieces that are going to come into this aspect of rebirth. And again, it's very individual for each and every one of you. That is why that ancestry is coming forward, because the rebirth that you're experiencing, not only is it changing or healing, let's say, your journey, but it's also rippling backwards to the ancestors that came before you, again, either biologically or soul-based. So this week is a really significant time to change the trajectory of those that come after you, those that follow your lead. And that's why this clarity is coming in, and that's why this access to higher energy is coming in too, because it is here to um, help this rebirth stick, right? Because we've been trudging and trudging for so long. That's the first part. There's something else here. Hold on. Okay. They're also saying, this is coming from a couple other guides in my council. They're also saying many of you are going to start to experience almost this feeling of your head popping above water. So think about it this way. Um, let's say a fish that lives underwater its whole life. Its entire environment is underwater and it's always looking up to see something shining, something kind of waving on the top, but it never sees it. But then suddenly one day, this fish decides to swim all the way to the top, or maybe has the capacity to swim all the way to the top, breaks the surface, comes above the surface, and sees an entirely new environment. This is what's happening for a lot of you also. You're breaking into new dimensional consciousness and you're seeing things in a new way. That's slightly connected to the rebirth, but it's also connected to that higher realms thing like they were talking about yesterday. You're breaking the surface of a new dimension, of a new capacity to connect with spirit in which you can see or experience an entirely new way or new thing. Now, they're saying when these experiences happen, it's really important to take time for due process, they're saying, because when you step into a new reality, when you get access to new things, it can be very overwhelming at first, even though it's something you've wanted. And a great example of this is I had a friend one time who always wanted to be a medium, always wanted to be a medium. They're like, I just want to see, I just want to see, I just want to see. Finally, Spirit gave them this opportunity to see. And for them to make real what they were seeing, even though they very much believed in mediumship, was so overwhelming, they shut it down. Because they're like, I don't know how you deal with that. I don't know how you can do that. It's too much. It's too much. And I'm not saying everybody would be that way at all, but this is just an example of when you step into those new realities, there's an adjustment phase. And it's really important in that adjustment phase not to jump into fear because fear can block it. And sometimes we don't want to block it. I remember the first time I had a conscious astral travel, I could feel myself being basically pulled out of my face, right? Like I was sleeping and then I was woken up and I could feel my astral body leaving my body through my face. And it freaked me out. And so I stopped it. And then when I stopped it, I was like, shoot, no, 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 let's do it, let's do it. It didn't happen again for a long time because my fear energy blocked it. So with these new kind of environments, new connections, higher realm access that you're gaining, really try to take it in stride and try to, when that experience is happening to you, try to just take a breath and pause and notice what you notice. Like I'd be curious if we get the notice what you notice card in the Avalon deck on Friday. I'd be curious to see that because that's a big piece of it is really allow the time needed to integrate the process. Again, we were talking about this expansion in consciousness just recently. So really something to consider because it's really about honoring your journey and not going backwards, but continuing to go forwards. So that also says that, yeah, if you find you get something and then nothing else comes after and you're like, come on, I want more. Sometimes spirit is giving you time for that due process to integrate it before they give you something else because the thing they do not want to do is have you shut down with fear. That's the opposite reaction of what they want. So your experience could be in seeing spirit. Your experience could be in feeling energies, feeling experiences of maybe telepathy, maybe healing energies coming through you all of a sudden. Like tapping into these spiritual gifts is something that's really kind of coming up for a lot of people because we're breaking into that new energetic dimensional frequency, which is a really good thing. It's kind of what we're meant to be doing and it's happening for more and more people. Okay, there's one more thing. Oh, this is really beautiful. They're showing me, this is really beautiful. They're showing me your ancestors, both biological and soul-based, all coming together, kind of like arm in arm around you. And they're kind of like swaying back and forth, sort of singing this beautiful song, this like soul song that is your song. So I'd be curious if any of you have been hearing this kind of music that you can't pinpoint or feeling like you're hearing it, or you hear a certain song and there's a piece in that song that just resonates so deeply. It could be in the same frequency or tones as this soul song. They're singing it around you in celebration and also to help you embrace this new higher energy. It's quite fascinating. Again, I wish I could just draw it out on the screen so you could see what I mean. But it's really beautiful. And so something that you could all do if you wanted to try is even closing your eyes and sitting in that energy, imagining your ancestors around you and just feel into what sounds they may be singing. And maybe you start humming. Maybe you start just singing a certain song. Maybe you start saying a mantra. Maybe you just feel the energy, but you can invite that experience in, and it really helps your whole frequency as you adapt to this new energy. It's so cool. Again, I wish I could paint the picture. All right, everyone, I will leave that with all of you. And thank you as always for joining. Now, I do want to invite you all to Cosmic Consciousness tonight. You can sign up at avalonspirit.com under Cosmic Consciousness. And I am talking about Egypt, but in a different way. We're talking about some spirit level stuff, some channeled messages, some insights, uh, some of the deeper meanings. And I'm trying to cram so much into this 1 hour session. So it's going to be fun. If you're feeling a draw and a connection to know a little bit more, um, join us. It'd be a lot of fun to have you there. So thank you as always, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.